Have you ever been excited to install a new application, only to find yourself stuck at the finish line? It can be incredibly frustrating, especially when you just want to get started. If you're facing this issue with Visual Studio for Mac, you're in the right place. Today, we will help you troubleshoot the installation hanging at the finishing installation stage. I completely understand how annoying it is to see that progress bar barely moving. You're not alone in this. Many users have encountered the same problem. It's one of those tech hiccups that can really test your patience. Let's dive into the specific issue at hand. One user recently reached out saying, "I downloaded Visual Studio Professional Edition for my Mac, but the installer hangs on the finishing installation stage." Sound familiar? If you're experiencing this, let's work through it together. So, what could be causing this frustrating hang-up? There are a few potential culprits, such as insufficient disk space, conflicting applications, or even issues with the installation files themselves. We'll break it down step by step to help you identify the problem. And stick around. I have a valuable tip at the end that can help prevent this issue from happening again in the future. To begin resolving the issue with Visual Studio for Mac hanging on the finishing installation stage, the user should first check their internet connection. A stable connection is crucial for the installation process. Next, the user should try restarting the installation process. They can do this by quitting the installer and then relaunching it to see if it completes successfully. If the installation still hangs, the user should check for any pending software updates on their Mac. Sometimes, system updates can interfere with installations. Another step the user can take is to clear the installation cache. This can help resolve any corrupted files that may be causing the hang. Finally, if none of these steps work, the user may need to uninstall Visual Studio completely and then reinstall it. This can help ensure a fresh start. Fun fact, did you know that the first version of Visual Studio was released back in 1997? It's come a long way since then, but even the best software can have its hiccups. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. One user shared an alternative solution. They experienced the same issue, where Visual Studio was stuck on the finishing installation stage for several hours. However, they discovered that the software was actually installed successfully, but the installation page had an error. They suggest trying to open Visual Studio and creating a test file, as it might already be fully installed. That's it for that response. Let's explore another one. One user found that their installation issue was caused by antivirus software. They suggest either uninstalling or disabling your antivirus to resolve the problem. Let's take a look at another answer from another user. One user faced a similar issue with Visual Studio for Mac getting stuck at the finishing installation stage. They discovered that the problem was related to the Android SDK. After uninstalling Android Studio, they realized they hadn't removed the Android SDK from the applications directory. Once they deleted that directory, rebooted, and restarted the installation, everything went smoothly. So, check for any leftover components from previous installations. Now let's dive into a different answer from another user. One user found that their installation hung at the finishing installation stage. They checked the installation log and saw that the Android SDK installed successfully, but the Intel Haxum installation was skipped. After waiting for a while, they decided to launch Visual Studio anyway, and it worked perfectly. Here's that valuable tip I promised. Regularly check your disk space and keep your applications updated. This simple habit can save you from many installation headaches in the future. And there you have it. With these steps, you should be able to resolve the installation issue and get Visual Studio up and running. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more troubleshooting tips. And remember to check out our bonus content on optimizing your Mac.